How you doing there, fam? With Anon here. Just want to poke my face out into the public. You know, spent years out on the boards and the chans, 4chan, 8chan, and then 8kun. More lurk, less work. Can't claim no fame. But I figured it's about time we speak up and speak out. You know, I've been banned from Twitter, been banned from Facebook, Messenger, Instagram. Got kicked off the only Discord server that was on because the entire server got banned, and I decided not to go back. Also deleted a Gab account because I got fed up with it, bottom line. I didn't like what was going on, I didn't like how clunky it was, etc. But I'm not here to bash anything, I'm just telling you where I have been and where I was. And I have a couple extra channels which I'll probably post in some description box or something eventually. I'm new to this, I don't do videos. Up until Enoch doing his Take the Oath videos and retweeting them on Twitter, I never even showed my face online. You know, I take Anon, Anonymous, to heart. But then I realized that we are now in a time where it is best that we show our face. And Anonymous just means I ain't going to give you all my address, but who I am and what I stand for is very important. And I want everyone else to know that they're not alone if they think the same way that I do. It is my personal belief that we are not the minority of thought. The media wants us to believe that we're some right-wing, fringe, crazy conspiracy theorists wearing tinfoil hats. But in all actuality, from what I have seen, from my experience, we are the majority. We're just polite. We don't throw fits. And I don't want to call myself Democrat or Republican. I am a constitutional conservative. I am a Christian, unapologetically. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I'm married, got a bunch of kids that seem like they just keep popping out of the woodwork. And that's my main goal in life, is to provide, to direct them and to give them the life that they deserve, make them better than myself, and to teach them the ways that they need to go to be successful and happy, to be able to help others and to think of others before themselves. But there's something that's bothering me, and I want to point it out. This is the 6th of July, and I spent all of the 5th contemplating this and thinking of it, but it really bothers me that the 4th of July is my favorite holiday, but the 5th is probably one of the saddest days of the year for me, because I see all of the patriotism on the 4th. I see everybody dressed up in red, white, and blue, and I see everybody, well, for better lack of a word, pretending to love their country. I'm not apologetic for that either, because I went from on the 4th of people dressed up in American flag clothing and constantly violating the customs and courtesies of our great red, white, and blue and Old Glory herself, professing patriotism, but not really even knowing what it means, to the very next day. Heck, some of them, while they were wearing patriotic regalia, talking about how they hate this nation, that they can't stand this country and what we stand for, and that American values are racist and hateful and bigoted and God knows what else. And that to me is extremely sad, because really they're just sunshine patriots. They do it to make themselves look good and virtue signal for their social status or whatever it is that they care for, and they don't even understand the definition of patriotism. They don't. Patriotism is a way of life. You know, it's standing even by yourself in the middle of a restaurant while you're watching a hockey game that plays the national anthem on TV. And I'm saying this specifically because this is an incident that happened. You know, I won't name the name of the restaurant, but we were eating some wings and there was a hockey game on all of the televisions that were around the restaurant, and they started playing the national anthem at the beginning of the game, and I was the only person that initially stood up, put my hand over my heart, took off my hat, and paid reverence to our national anthem. My wife, God love her, was with me. She was embarrassed as well. But because she knows who I am and how I am, she stood with me. Everybody stared. Some people laughed. Other people scoffed. Tons of people whispered. I didn't care. The national anthem was done. Put my hat back on my head. I sat down. And we enjoyed the rest of our meal. And to our surprise, at the very end of the meal, with our receipt, there was a note that said, "Thank you for expressing patriotism," and our meal was paid for. I thought that was great, but that's not why I did it. I would have paid for my meal, no problem. But to see that somebody else in there showed me that I wasn't alone, but maybe they were afraid to speak up and speak out. I'm the kid that believed all the commercials growing up about the military, and I joined. I joined because I wanted to serve. I wanted to fight for American values. I don't agree with a lot of politics, but when you're serving your nation, the politics are irrelevant. The red on that flag is designated by the blood that's been spilled. The white is for the purity of its values. And that's what I went for. I went and joined the service, the U.S. Navy, the only constitutionally recognized branch of the military. Well, not recognized, but mentioned in the Constitution. Because I wanted to serve my nation in the highest capacity as I could. No hero. I didn't do nothing fancy. I didn't even have a cool job. But I served, and I'm proud of it, no matter how it was. I want to give a big thank you to all of our veterans. If you signed on a dotted line saying that you're willing to give up your life for our nation, its values, its people, and to defend the Constitution, if you took that oath to swear to defend and support the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, then I tip my hat to you. Doesn't matter how your service ended. Doesn't matter if you were the cook, the janitor, Navy SEAL, Delta, whatever. Special forces, no forces. You could have been the kitchen cleanup kid. My hat to you. Because you were willing and volunteered to serve. Hopefully, when you come out of the service, you kept the thought and the feeling of patriotism that's instilled in you. If not, you have the right to do so. To me, it would be sad, and my opinion is my opinion, and I'm not apologetic about it. I am unapologetically man, and I have my opinions, and I feel that we all have the right to our opinion, even if it's abhorrent. And with that being said, I truly believe in free speech, even speech that I don't agree with. I'm not going to go burning down some stores or rioting in the streets and tearing down statues because somebody said something that I don't like, or people had a bad history that doesn't line up with our cultures of today. Because America is a great nation, it's a great experiment. And bottom line, we ain't perfect, but we're progressing. We've learned from our mistakes. And one thing that I'm seeing nowadays that really, really worries me is they're trying to erase history so that our future generations can't learn from our mistakes. We can't grow from where we've been. And human nature dictates that we're going to revert back to the same stuff that we were doing before that we shouldn't. I wholeheartedly believe that we are witnessing a communist takeover of our nation. The radical left is pushing ideas and values that go complete opposite of what America stands for. I, off the top of my head, can't think of one patriotic thing that the Democratic Party has done for our nation in my entire lifetime. And it's sad, because people are believing the lies that they're being told. There's a famous quote that I constantly tell myself, and it's to remind me why do I stand up and speak out, other than the obvious things that I've just said, but is that truth is the first casualty of war. if we can keep truth alive and fight the lies, the narrative that we're being fed, then it gives us that much more of a chance to get people to realize that they're being lied to show them that the side they think is right is not only wrong, but are designed purposefully to destroy this nation. I want to stop for a second and point out I am absolutely non-violent, except in the direct self-defense of your family, yourself. Everybody has the right to self-preservation. I do not condone any type of violence outside of that. Not vigilante justice, nothing. I believe in the justice system, as broken as it might be right now. I believe in the Constitution, as faltering it's being allowed to be at the moment. I believe that our nation, this great experiment of the Republic, of these United States, is a beautiful, God-given, and dedicated to God, based on Christian values and morals. And I'm unapologetic about it. The comment section's down here for all the haters that want to hit me up. Down with it. I control with the best of them. But the United States is the greatest nation in the world. And if we lose this war of information and truth, and we let truth die, and man, well, I can't even call them men, if people just lay down and take it, there is nowhere else to run for our freedom. There is nowhere else to go in this world. And if we don't wake up, if this nation doesn't wake up, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad for a lot of people. I don't think it's going to come to that. I honestly think we're winning. I wholeheartedly believe that my kids and their kids are going to grow up seeing a nation of the greatness that we had before. But with growth and the realization that it's up to us to defend democracy and freedom, to defend this great republic. Ronald Reagan, I believe, is the one that said that our freedom is only one generation away from being destroyed. Because if the next generation decides to not fight for it, not to stand for it, decides to lay down and cower to those that are calling them racist or using emotionally driven hate speech, I guess. I don't even know what to call that. Just the dribble that pops out of their mouth. It's all emotion-based. And so if they believe it, don't fight and stand for truth, then the nation will fall. And it's just one generation is all it takes. If they don't realize that we're being corrupted from the inside and they allow it to happen, if nobody is willing to stand up and speak out, it can go bad quick. And that's what the 5th of July reminds me of. It makes me worry to see the people that stand and on the 4th and they put up a good show, turn around the next day and they hide their flags. They don't stand up for their rights. They walk around and put their mask back on so that they can go to the grocery store. They line up and call you every name in the book because you want to have the vaccines or the medical knowledge to be tested and true and to make sure it's safe before you, stick it in your jugular. Edward Bernays is a name you should look up. He's the father of propaganda. He stated that the emotion is people's emotions are how you should get a desired result from them. Don't approach them with logic, because then it gives them a chance to think about it. Hit them with emotion, and then it hits their feels, and oh, he called me a racist. Oh, he called me a bigot. Or oh, she thinks I'm anger driven and a toxic male. I am unapologetically male, and if you find my masculinity toxic, don't smoke me, baby. Simple as that. I don't care. I don't hate anybody. I don't think that women are any less of human or any less equal than anybody else. I don't believe there's any difference between any race, color, creed, none of that. Nope. Ain't no hate here. None. I treat my wife like a queen. My daughters are growing up with knowing what it feels like to be respected, treated like gold. Not because they're female, not because they're, and my sons, and not because they're male, but because they're human beings. Human. We should be humane to humans. Novel concept, I know, right? Wow. See, the opposing side tries to push tribalism. They try to push all these categories and boxes that people are supposed to fit into, and then when somebody doesn't fit into the box, they discard them like trash. You ever notice how somebody that plays the game and they're held up and revered and put up on a pedestal by the opposition, and then as soon as they ask a question, they're screamed at like they're the worst garbage in the world. They're called every name in the book. They're conspiracy theorists, whatever else you want to put, to completely dismiss their personhood, to devalue them as a human being so that others don't even take the time to listen. But yet, people are being denied basic food items if they don't conform by putting on a mask. Conformity, not safety. Control, not cures. Tyranny, not treatment. Wake up. You're being lied to. You can believe me or not. That's cool. Look it up for yourself. Don't just read a headline of some leftist media mogul. Look at actual documents. Listen to the doctors that are being kicked off of every social media platform. Look into their record. Wow, these people were revered as some of the best doctors in the nation, and then the moment they spoke out against this tyrannical, conformist, Orwellian society, they're thrown out and revered as if they have no experience whatsoever. Red flag. I can think of a historic figure that did the same. Berlin was a prime example. You know, people don't have to be wearing brown shirts and marching down the street saying death to a certain particular people. Bureaucracy, movement of the pen, which is mightier than the sword, changes entire nations. And when the people conform and comply, that means that they're also complicit. I've been thrown out of I don't know how many stores and different facilities for not wearing a mask. I don't. It's not that I'm insensitive to those around me for their medical needs. You know, if I walk into an immunocompromised hospital room to go pray with them and give communion, because I do hospital visits and visit nursing homes, if it's necessary for their actual medical safety, I'll put on a mask. I put on one of them big bright yellow suits, the paper suits and all the whatever, to go visit somebody and pray with them. But I don't need to go to Costco wearing a scuba suit to pick up cheesy poofs. It's ridiculous. And it's time that people in this nation are stop being afraid to speak up and speak out. Show your face. Talk to people. Show them. And do verifiable stuff. Don't go on this craziness of things that you can't prove and speculation. And the moment you say, well, I think so, you're wrong. Because they're going to look it up and not be able to verify it. And then boom, they're not going to believe a word you say after that. Nothing. No matter how right you may be, if you go off onto the left field with stuff that you can't prove, they're not going to believe you. Speak truth. Facts. Facts don't care about feelings. I don't care if people mock me, ridicule me. Believe me, growing up or starting out on the chans gave me some tough skin. I can be crapped on with the best of them. Because the moment you start speaking truth in there, there's shills that'll come out left and right to try to knock you down and make people not listen. And why? It's because they fear what you say. People still have power. And the opposition fears that. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trying to silence us. If our vote didn't matter, they wouldn't be trying to rig it. Our voice counts. Make yours count. I support Trump. I think he's a great president. Wonderful things that he's done for our nation. I don't care what his past was, what his moral values may be. You know, somebody said, well, he said he's going to grab a woman by her bleep bloop. You ever heard what the soldiers sound like that are fighting for your nation in the locker rooms or in the shop by themselves? Unapologetically man. Unapologetically human. I don't look to Trump for moral guidance. That's what I go to God for. I look to Jesus Christ. I have my flaws. I'm nowhere perfect. Believe that. But I'm unapologetic for that as well. The only one that can judge me is God himself. And him and I think we're in good standings. I talk to him daily. He corrects me daily too. And he also blesses me daily. Unapologetically Christian. I also believe that the Q movement is real. No matter how much people knock it, no matter how many shills come out about it, my own beliefs are my own beliefs. And the convictions that I saw is that it is mathematically impossible to be a coincidence, mathematically impossible to be a LARP, live action role play for those of you that don't know. It's not fake. It can't be. Is it a psyop? Absolutely, by definition. But it's a psyop for the right reasons. Information warfare. But even if it was fake, check this out. Even if it's fake, it opened our eyes. It opened the eyes of the world, not just the United States. There are movements going on in countries all over this great globe to stand up for truth, to push away tyranny, to bring the power back to the people. You know, people are constantly saying for God and country. Well, it's not just us. It's for humanity itself. If America falls, the world falls. And it's going to get real bad after that. I don't think it'll come to that, though. But it takes us to stand up. It doesn't take going to the streets and being violent. So don't even try to twist my words into being that at all. It will not come to violence. Our voice alone can knock down the walls of Jericho because God is with us. We are on the side of right. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I believe that it's an operation to push information out to those that are willing to use it. It doesn't tell you how to think. It just asks questions, and then you dig, do your own research, find your own answers. And I know the haters down here in the comments are going to be like, oh, it's a cult. Okay, show me any other cult in history that told you to think for yourself. Do your own research. Come up with your own conclusions. That has no real leader. That is based on the collective. There aren't any. There's no Kool-Aid to drink. But I got plenty of popcorn to eat. Bet. Save for the day that we have the perp walks. I hope I get to see HRC in handcuffs. But however it plays out, no matter what happens, I'm still going to stand up for truth. If Q does turn out to be some elaborate whatever LARP, cool. Because I said I believe in it and that I think it's true, I look like a fool. But my message doesn't change. Truth is truth. That's God's work. Fighting for truth is fighting for him. Fighting for this country. Fighting for my children's future. Verbally. No violence. Because peace wins. Always. Love wins. I back the blue. 100%. And right now, I'm under the thumb of the feds because of me being at the Capitol on the 6th. But everybody has the First Amendment right to free speech, to peaceably assemble, to express verbally their derision, unapologetically. I'm on Telegram. I'll be posting this, I think, on YouTube, CloutHub, and a few others. I'm just now learning how to do the Tiger Network, and I love it. I really do. I like it. I'm just a newbie when it comes to that, so bear with me if I screw all this stuff up. I don't do videos. I don't even have a computer. I don't. I have a phone and a conviction for American resolve and a great love for my country, because I want my children to grow up loving the red, white, and blue and having the same opportunities that I did growing up. Hopefully they won't mess them up like I did. Everybody makes mistakes in their lives. You learn from them. And one goal as a parent is to make your children better than you. Because that's how I feel. So God bless you. I hope this reaches some people and opens your eyes up that you're not alone. We are in this fight together. And it's time to speak up, speak out. Speak with love. Screaming at somebody with hatred only pushes them away. And on that, I wish you a good day. Where we go one, we go all.